Welcome to this video. My name is Eva, and in this video I talk about just some things that I've learned because I'm turning 22, and I really love to share my journey on YouTube because I don't know, it just feels cool to connect with people from different places, and I definitely learned quite a lot of things the past years, specifically the past year, and I just want to talk about it. So the first thing that I've learned is that when you live abroad, there are actually also some challenges that you have to deal with. There are some dark sides of living abroad. So first of all, there's loneliness and the challenge to find friends. I think it really depends where exactly you live and on the situation. For example, when I first was living for 1 year in the Canary Islands, it was actually easy to find friends because I didn't have so much pressure from university and I didn't work. So I really had a lot more time to enjoy life, to meet friends, and I was living with roommates who were super party focused, and there was always so many Italian people in our apartment, and it was really easy to meet people. And then the second time when I moved in with my boyfriend on the Canary Islands, it was a lot harder for me to find friends, also because I was working, I had university, and I felt this incredible pressure that probably I put on myself, where I felt like I have to find friends and I have to become independent and I have to build my own life so that my partner will not leave me or will think that I'm independent or something. And this was really damaging for my mental health because it basically led me to feeling like a failure, because I had this expectation of myself, okay, I have to find so many friends in this amount of time, and life just doesn't work like that. I think that friendships, they really take time to develop, and when you work a lot on like during the week, and sometimes with university when you have a project you work on the weekends, or maybe you want to learn about a specific topic, you want to learn about investing, you just don't have so much time to meet with friends, and that really shows in your friendship that in the beginning you don't have so many friends, specifically in the beginning when you move abroad. And that was a huge learning experience for me, that I learned that it's okay to be alone sometimes. It's okay to not have many friends when you first move abroad to a different place. It's okay to take your time because friendships take time to build, and that was a huge learning experience for me, to not have that expectation on myself. And nothing against my ex-boyfriend, but if you have someone who would leave you because you give your best to find friends but you just struggle so much and he leaves you for that, then it's just better to leave, because love is not based on conditions. That was a really big learning lesson for me as well, that when you really love someone, it has not so much to do with money, with the way someone look or the physique or anything like that. It's really just loving someone for their soul, and I think as long as people try, you know, then the love will kind of stay. But that's just some things that I thought on myself. And yeah, just for anyone who's struggling with making friends as an adult when living abroad, or even when moving to a different city in your home country and is struggling with friends, yeah, just give yourself grace. It takes time to build friendships, and that was actually really a learning curve also, because when I went back to Germany, my self-worth was kind of crushed, because I was like, something is wrong with me, I cannot make friends. And then in Germany I was just easily connecting with friends and they were happy to see me, and it was just a huge different reality kind of, that I can actually make friends. And yeah, I'm capable of making friends, it's just sometimes more difficult. And also I think the way that I make friends is maybe different, because I'm a huge extrovert. When I'm in a group with people, I love to be in a group with people. I love group dynamic and I really love that so much. But for me it's just harder to call a friend and to say, hey, do you want to go for a walk or something. I don't know why that is, but it's definitely something I want to work on, that I not only am good with big groups but I'm also a lot better with individual activities with one friend. I don't know, I really want to learn that. Another thing that I've learned about living abroad that is sometimes hard is that, and that I didn't know before, is intensified emotions. Because what happens when you live abroad is that you don't have your comfort zone, you don't have so many familiarities. For example, now I'm at home in Germany and I feel a lot more grounded. I feel that when there's a challenge, because I have family support, because I know the environment, etc., it's more easy to handle, and I know that I'm kind of taken care of in a way because my family is still there. But when you live abroad, at least that happened to me, that, and maybe, you know, life happens, there's a challenge and you don't know how to deal with it. You know, it's, your parents cannot just get into they could, but when it's not like this incredible bad situation, then your parents probably don't just go to a flight and save you or something like that. So you don't have that kind of family support, and so for me at least, my emotions were definitely intensified. Let it be anxiety or just panic or things like that. But I think that now I know that this is the case when living abroad, especially in the beginning, and I think I can deal with it a lot better. And I think it's also just, yeah, a journey of really maturing to know that you can handle your situation wherever you go. Yeah, that's really cool. But I wish I would have known before that probably your emotions are just intensified when living abroad. Another one is also homesickness, because I think when you go abroad for 1 year, it's kind of like everyone is like, yeah, she will come back, so you're integrated still into your own into your old life. But I think when you live abroad for longer than 1 year, at least that was my experience, that everyone of course moves on and starts living their life without you, you know. So you will kind of lose friends and things like that, or lose a strong connection with certain friends. But I think that's completely okay and normal. And yeah, so homesickness is, I think that one thing that I've learned is that it's natural to experience homesickness when you're abroad, and that there are certain methods that you can do. For example, watch TV shows that are German, and really important also, meet more with friends. Because what I did, and this is what I've learned, is that I have a quite unhealthy coping mechanism, which is I dive into work, and that's good on one part because you get work done, but on the other part it's really damaging because it's a form of procrastination. So for example, when I was so sad and I felt so incompetent of not being able to meet so many friends, instead at one point, like, I was trying in the beginning to meet friends, but at one point I completely felt like a failure and I stopped trying, and I fell into this hole and I just from that point on, I was just to not feel any emotions, to not make any decisions, and to not feel this fear that I had. I just worked, and that's of course super damaging, because when you just work, you're not having the hard conversation that you should have, or you're not actually taking actions towards the real problem. And that's also something that I want to work on the next years, to create healthier coping mechanisms, to not instead of avoiding emotions by working, just feeling them and facing them. And yeah, that's a really big thing that I want to work on. Another thing that I've learned that is challenging when you move abroad is guilt, because I felt so guilty for leaving my family behind and not being with my family, especially, you know, when someone is getting sick and you're not there to help. It was really overwhelming, and now I think I've learned how to deal with it, because in the future I want to continue to live abroad, at least every year, most of the year, because it's exciting and it's how I want to live my life. But yeah, it's a lot to to learn about, and I think that now I have a handle on things, on not feeling so guilty, because in the end you have to live your own life, and yeah, and there's no need to feel so much guilt. Yeah, so that's basically about living abroad. I still think it's an amazing experience. I want to continue it. I plan to go in August or September. I'm not sure about to Thailand or Mexico or Indonesia. It really depends what is best for me at that time. And yeah, I just love it. It's so rewarding and so adventurous to live in a different country. So yeah, another thing that I want to talk about in this video is, and sorry at this point for my English, I try my best because now I live in Germany and I really feel that I'm not talking enough English. So another thing that I learned is therapy, is about therapy, or because of therapy. For me, therapy is really a game changer. Just learning about it was so helpful. I think everyone has certain methods, let it be going to church or let it be doing meditation or whatever it is. For me, it is definitely learning about therapy, about just learning that there are so many causes that are, for example, when I react a certain way, it's easy to think that, you know, why was I reacting that way? That makes no sense. But in the end, always when there's a reaction, very often there's a logical cause behind it, and finding that logical cause or that trauma, etc., is really helpful to become more differentiated and to see things in a less black and white manner, or to say, instead of yeah, he or she is crazy, to really say, okay, they're acting this way because of that. And it helps me so much. I mentioned it already in another video, but it helps me so much to not take things that other people do so personally. So for example, when someone is treating me bad, like I was working some years ago somewhere someone and my chef was treating me really bad, and I was like, okay, there's something wrong with me. But instead of saying that, you have, what I think therapy helps me with is to really have a more logical view on the situation. So instead of thinking there's something wrong with me, there has to be something wrong with me, I start to think, okay, what is the situation? Was it my mistake, or maybe was it just that the chef is maybe a really person who is struggling with a lot of things and lets it out on his employees, for example. So it just helps me to take some distance from the behavior of other people and to see, to have more compassion towards myself and other people. So that's really fantastic. Another cool thing that I love about therapy is that it helps me to see triggers. So for example, when I'm in a relationship and my partner is doing something that triggers me, to have that space of not reacting, of impulsively reacting, which I don't know, but I'm prone to do, to take the space to stop and to think, okay, why is this triggering me? Is there something that I need to work on? Is there something that needs healing? What is the situation? So I love therapy so much because it's just based on logic and I like that so much. Another thing that I've learned is about relationships. I don't want to dive too deep in that because I don't want to be disrespectful towards my ex-boyfriend, because I think he doesn't deserve that. So just some brief things. First of all, that I've learned, I really like to have balance in the relationship, that there is a balance of love, that there's a balance of what you do for your partner, etc. So balance is definitely something I want to incorporate into my next relationship. And another thing that I've learned because of the breakup is that life is not a race. I think that when I was young, I was thinking, oh, when I will get a job, I will get a relationship, then I will get a child, and kind of like a to-do list. But life is life. And I think now I'm just starting to understand this concept of life, that life just happens, and I really want to work on myself, that it's okay to make plans, and I want to make plans, but it's I want to have that flexibility to say, okay, life happens, and for example, I want to have children, but if for any reason I cannot have children because of maybe I don't have a partner, or I can't get pregnant, or my partner can't have kids, then, you know, be flexible, maybe adopt, or maybe help other people, whatever it is, to have that flexibility and to accept life when life happens. And I think that now I don't know why, but I feel like I'm a lot more centered in myself. I felt before that relationship, and in that relationship I was a lot like out of myself, like trying so much, and I feel like now I'm just coming home to myself. I don't know why, it's a different feeling that I have, but it's a nice feeling. I hope it stays. And the last thing I want to talk about is a book that I'm reading actually, and it's this book. It's How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie, and it's a really great book. I didn't think I needed to read it, but actually I do, and I still need to learn so much in that area, because it's basically saying that when you worry about something, or when you stress about something, that it's a habit that is very detrimental for your health, and that can be unlearned. And that's a really cool concept, because I was like, yeah, when bad things are happening to me, or when, you know, something bad is happening, I have to feel guilty, or I have to feel worry, but that's not the case, and that's just something I want to work on. So yeah, I'm pretty happy to came across that book, and that's really it for this video. So thank you so much for watching this video. It's really nice to just connect with you guys, and maybe you also learned some things in the past year that you want to share in the comment section. I would love to hear more about you, about your story. And yeah, I really hope to see you in my next video. If you want to learn more about a fruit-based diet, a raw vegan diet, then definitely you know, check out my website. The link is in the description box. And that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and see you soon in my next video. Bye bye.